Back in February, on the 12th of February, I spoke to Patrick Keane. Patrick has multiple sclerosis. And my conversation on the 12th was 3 days ahead of him travelling to Russia for stem cell treatment, to hopefully slow down the progression of his multiple sclerosis. And I'll talk to him now because he's back and he's had extensive stem cell treatment in Russia and he's back home, joins me by phone. Patrick, good morning.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
I'm very well. And without going into the actual details of the injections and what they did with regards to your bone marrow and things like that and the harvesting, how did the trip go?
Oh, excellent. I describe it as excellent. I had no side effects or complications. They were shocked, actually, how well it went. I won't say sailed through it. It was tough, naturally enough, but it's already, now I know it's very early to speak, I'm only back a week or two, 10 days, but slight, small little things, like I can walk in the house now without the leg cast that I had on my legs beforehand. I can lift my leg freely now. I'm not going to be running marathons or anything. I still will require lots of physio over the next year, but it's,
Before you travelled, you were saying that you couldn't lift your leg more than a couple of inches when you were lying in the bed. You had the cast on. You were using crutches around the house. Now you can lift. Jeez, you can lift your leg as high as me, 2.5 feet in a lying position.
I could lift it up that height. It will drop eventually. It's not going to hold there steady for a long time. But with physio, I'm going to build up strength in the legs, hopefully. The aim of the whole procedure is to halt the illness where it is so that it doesn't progress further. Anything else that you get from it, such as movement or anything really, is a bonus. But Neil, there's people here in Ireland that have had this done. That's how I found out about it. And so I went to Frankfurt to find out about it in a different clinic. Didn't involve the chemotherapy, which is the... Now, yes,
after all of the stem cell stimulation injections, etc., you had 4 days of high-dose chemo, didn't you? 5 hours of it a day.
5 hours a day for 4 days, That was tough. I didn't have the energy to open my eyelids, talk on the phone. You just slept. I didn't eat for 4 days.
Wow. Who travelled with you, Patrick?
Unfortunately, I had to go by myself with COVID restrictions. I spent 2 years trying to get to Russia, and because of COVID, with lockdowns and safety for the other patients in the hospital, naturally enough, I couldn't go with anyone. So Katie, who you sent the flowers to for Valentine's Day, she, and thank you very much for that, by the way.
Not at all. Easy thing to do.
I had to go by myself, but, through WhatsApp, my family and Katie were to stay in touch every single day.
What was the hospital like? Was this in Moscow?
In Moscow, yeah.
What was the hospital like?
Oh, listen, the amount of tests I had done, the hospital, first of all, as clean as a whistle. You couldn't ask for it to be any cleaner. They'd put on a pair of gloves to open the door, take them off, then put on a pair of sterile gloves before they come anywhere near you to touch you, to check your blood pressure, to check your neck catheter where the chemo went in. It's spotless. The room is cleaned every day, washed down in alcohol solution when you're in isolation. Nurse comes in, washes your back with the alcohol solution. You kind of go about cleaning yourself then with the rub. Your special, it felt like I was in Karate Kid with the gowns. It's like a white gown you get for the whole time you're in isolation.
Yeah.
It's to avoid risk of infection. I could not fault the hospital, the staff, the doctors in any way, shape or form. They were fantastic.
How long were you in there?
30 days.
30 days?
Yeah.
So you saw absolutely nothing except the interior of a hospital. I mean, it's not as if you had neither the strength nor the inclination to have spent some time in Moscow. This is not what that was about.
No. Like, if COVID wasn't a factor, I could have done city tour for the first 2 or 3 days while testing was going on. After my testing, go out. But I went outside in the hospital and I saw a lovely timber church. I think I sent an email on to Brenda with a picture of the church, fantastic church, on the grounds of the hospital, and took a little video of the outside. But apart from that, I was in the room for 15 days before I got out then again at that stage.
Wow. I mean, you so value life, don't you? You really do.
You know what, it makes you, like the saying, your health is your wealth. I didn't actually realise what that meant until I was there and going through the whole lot. I'm not a holy person at all.
Yeah.
But I said prayers, didn't know who I was praying to or what, but you know, when you're that going through that much and you're there by yourself, I said prayers, I wrote everything down, documented it for my own kind of look back on it in years to come and times to come. It would make you look at everything differently.
Yeah, I know. Those that are healthy and walking around, we don't realise what a gift we have.
Something as simple as putting on your pair of socks in the morning, or I don't know, just putting one foot in front of the other. You know, that to someone with MS, the small little things that you couldn't even describe about. You know, chronic fatigue, that you just want to sleep, and even if you do sleep for 8 hours solid, you might be up for an hour and you might have another couple of naps throughout the day. Mobility issues then obviously go hand in hand with it. Brain fog, as they call it. You know, you just every little thing, every little part of your body can be affected by MS. But I've seen people over there that were in Moscow that were worse off than me, that didn't have it as long, that were only freshly diagnosed. There's a gentleman, actually an Irish guy from Dublin, that's in Amsterdam, and he had the treatment done. He's a very talented musician, played with the Clancy's and the Furies and all the top musicians. He is now walking with just an ash stick, and before that he was in a wheelchair for longer distances outside. He had a stairs for going up a seat for going up his stairs. Yeah. 1 year later, that's gone, and he's just walking around with an ash stick.
And the treatment that you went through, I thought it was to slow the progression. Are you saying it will halt the progression of MS temporarily or forever?
There's people that have had it done. Halted is the aim of the game. Anything else, as I said, that you get out of it is a bonus. But there's people that are 8 years, 5 years, 10 years, and there's one guy that had it initially done in Russia. I think he could be even up on 16 years later, progression free, and some of his symptoms have disappeared. He scans, like when he goes to his neurologist. He walked into the neurologist, and he hadn't done that for like 5 or 6 years before that.
Amazing. So, 2 questions for you. How did you fund this, and why couldn't it be done here?
It's something that, well, funding, first of all, I'll answer your first question first. I went down the GoFundMe page route. I did it in desperation. One Saturday night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I just woke up. I was in so much pain and agony, and I was going through a bad stage at that time, and I was heart in my sleeve. I just wrote it down, put it on paper, and I thought, look, if this works, brilliant. If not, sure, what else am I going to do? And it just catapulted. Friends, family, my partner, Katie, my fiance, should I say, sorry. Mind blowing. You know, how people I don't even know. There was one woman from Jamaica even donated 20 euros because she saw it online.
Isn't that incredible? Do you mind me asking how much you managed to raise?
Oh, I think the treatment itself in Moscow is 45,000 euros.
Mother of God.
But that isn't counting flights, visas, insurance.
So did you raise north of that then, yeah?
I think I raised something like 58. So I'm going to be out of work for
Oh my God, people are so kind.
You have no idea. Absolutely, you have no idea. I mean, between all the fundraising events, and I was thinking to myself, and I said it to Katie, if you had to go through something like that now during lockdown and COVID, if you were unfortunate enough to need people's help at this moment in time, you'd be a hell of a long time doing so. I think I was lucky enough that I got the whole lot sorted and ready to go within 6 to 7 months or less, 6 months, I think.
I'm so delighted for you. You must be bursting with determination and enthusiasm.
I tell you, there's nobody out there that has more determination, or well, Katie would say stubbornness, but
I just think it's fantastic to hook up with you with such great news and the kindness and generosity of people. You're off to a GP appointment this morning, I think, are you?
I actually went and got my bloods, the first lot of bloods taken yesterday morning. And then I must have another lot after 2 weeks, and then every month thereafter. Neurologist appointment, hematology will follow up with me once the bloods are back in.
Well, stay in touch, will you?
Oh, listen, I plan on doing so. I'll give you photos, give you little videos if there's improvements, etc. But it's just something that there's possibly other people out there that have thought like, I'm done. Like, this is as much as I can go. And
have you the energy? If people want to get in touch with you for a bit of advice or direction, have you the energy to help?
I'd certainly like to help. Yeah. No, I just obviously the decision. It's a fairly. It's not a procedure without its risk.
Oh, I know, but you could pick up that personally with people if they wish.
Yeah. I could give them the website that they need to contact, the email for the coordinator in Russia. And obviously let them, and just give them general advice. But yeah, certainly I'd do that, no problem.
Great talking to you. Great to catch up. Best regards to yourself and the wonderful Katie. Lovely catching up.
Thank you very much for having me on, Neil.
Not at all. Stay in touch. Don't forget, stay in touch.
Thank you. Bye now.
Patrick Keane, wonderful guy.
Neil Prendeville, the voice of Cork. Weekdays 9 to midday, Cork's Red FM.